Hello stampers and crafters, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sarah McGuire from Sassy Paper Crafts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make 4 cards in just a few minutes. So if you want to see how easy it is to make these cards with only a few supplies, please keep watching. So these cards are designed to come together really quickly. This is just a sample of what we're going to be making today. I am going to be using a different designer series paper, and I'm going to be showing you exactly how to cut everything, how I put it all together in like an assembly line style. So let's move the ink and our sample card out of the way. I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer and show you exactly what you need for all of your cards. Don't worry, all the measurements and the supplies I use will be on my blog. Just click the first link in the description of this video. So you're going to need a 12 by 12 sheet of designer series paper. I chose this one. You can use whatever paper you have on hand, and then you're going to need a piece of coordinating cardstock, and then 2 pieces of thick basic white for your card bases, and then a piece of regular basic white for the insides of your cards and our outside here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut our card bases. So I'm just going to move this to the side, and again you need 2 pieces. Our card bases are basic white, so 2 pieces of the thick basic white. Our card base opens like this. You can open it the other way if you want. I'm going to do it this way. So to do it this way, you just measure. This is an 8.5 by 11 inch piece of paper. You just measure at 4 1/4. If you wanted to go the traditional way, you just turn it around and go to 5 1/2. I'm going to go at 4 1/4. We're going to do that twice for both sheets of our paper. And then I'm going to keep my my cutting blade up at the top, and we're going to score these at 5 1/2. If you did it the other way, you're going to score at 4 1/4. So I'm going to score all 4 of these. And the trick is to do everything all at once. So I cut everything all at once, scored everything all at once. Now I'm going to cut our Night of Navy piece, which is going to be our background piece here. We're going to cut it at 5 1/4 by 4. You should get 4 pieces from 1 sheet of cardstock. 5 1/4 by 4 by 4. And then you'll have this little piece left over. I just tossed that out, so we have 2 there. I'm going to cut this to 5 1/4. Have a little piece left over. Turn it, cut at 4, and then at 4 inches again. And this is how you get the most out of your cardstock, and you just have these little pieces of scrap. So we have 4 of those. Now we're going to cut our inside, or our outside pieces. And actually, I don't have my notes, so I'm going to see what this measures. This is 3 by 4 1/4. So this is for our outside piece. We don't need insides for our card because our base is white. 3 inches by 4 1/4. I'm going to do 4 1/4 first. 4 1/4. 3 by 3, and then you'll have a little piece left over. I always save my basic white pieces, so I have 2 of those. We're going to need 2 more, 4 1/4. Now if they're super tiny pieces, I don't save them, but that's quite a big piece of basic white. That would be great for die cutting or something, so I'm going to save that. By 3 by 3. So now we have these extra pieces. I'm just going to set those to the side, and then now we need to cut our designer series paper. Now I was I really didn't know which side I wanted to use because we are doing a tree on the front and I love the trees here, but I really love the polar bear, so I think I'm going to use this side. We're going to cut our designer series paper to 5 by 3 3/4. Now this here, the trick is you want to make sure you're going the right direction if you're using directional paper. So what I mean by that is this side is 4, so this is going to be 3 3/4 is where we're going to start here, so that we cut our paper the right way. So we're going to strip that's 3 3/4, and then we're going to turn it and cut it to 5 so that it layers on our piece. If we would have done it the other way, the design would have been all wonky. So we need 4 of those. And again, these pieces of scrap are awfully large, so I do save those. And we need to cut another piece at 3 3/4. By 5. I think I'm going to turn it and cut it by 5 this way because I like that tree. And that way we have that as our scrap, and I just like the front of that. I mean, a lot of it's getting covered up with our design, but I just like that tree with the star. So that is all of our paper cutting done. Now we can move on to stamping. So I'm set all my papers over here except for the parts we're going to stamp on. So these 4 pieces of basic white that we cut, we're going to be stamping on. I'm going to be using the Beary Cute stamp set that coordinates with the Beary Christmas Designer Series paper. You can use whatever stamp set you have. All you're going to need is one solid image and a sentiment. So I'm actually doing a 2-step technique with my image. We're going to be using this tree, and I liked the little snowflake and then the Merry Christmas all from this stamp set. So this is a 2-step stamp. If you wanted to, you could do the polar bear. You could do it however you wanted. I liked how this looked. I have 2 ink colors here, Night of Navy and Old Olive. I'm going to be stamping the tree first. So I'm going to move these out of the way. Those are getting inked in Night of Navy. And actually, I want to move my card all the way over here, all my pieces of paper, so I don't accidentally stamp them. So what I'm going to do is just kind of lay these out, and I'm lining them up with my grid paper, so that way everything's pretty even. And make sure they're all on the same line there. I'm going to open up my Old Olive, and we're going to do the tree outline first. So I'm just inking that up, and I'm trying to go for the middle, kind of up towards the top, but for the middle of the cardstock. And we're going to do this 4 times. So now I'm going to take my filler stamp and ink that up in Old Olive and just line that up with the tree as best I can. And again, we're going to do this 4 times. So I messed that one up. So what we're going to do is just flip it over. I'm going to do it again. So the great thing about paper is it has 2 sides. Try that one more time. Perfect. And now I can put my Old Olive away, and we'll get out the Night of Navy. And we can do our Merry Christmas. Now this is where being kind of lined up matters, because you don't want a crooked sentiment. So I'm just going to ink up, stamp, going straight down and straight up. You don't want to rock your stamp back and forth, straight down, straight up. And now we can kind of get a little abstract. So what I did for the snowflake was I liked how it looked stamped off. So I ink it up, stamp off onto my grid paper, and then put it onto the cardstock. And some of them I kind of like to go off the page a little bit, turning it as I go. And we're just going to do this a bunch of times, however many your heart desires, until we do all 4 of them. There, so now we have a bunch of snowflakes. I don't know what's going on with the second one here. It's the one I messed up before, but I didn't get a whole snowflake, so I just stamped over it. Kind of looks like a clump of snowflakes. I'm okay with how it looks. So our stamping is done. Now we're actually ready to assemble our card. So I'm going to grab all our pieces again. We can stack these kind of on top of each other. And the first thing I'm going to do is stick my bases here, my Night of Navy pieces, and my designer series paper. So I'm going to grab my stamp and seal because it's the quickest way to put everything together. And I'm going to grab a designer series paper and just run the seal along the back, put it on the Night of Navy. Then we can flip that over and put it on a card base. Now these ones are kind of tricky. You might want to even fold your card base before you do this step. If you fold it over, it's easier to see how to line it up. And then we're just going to set that aside. I'm actually going to fold these because that was a little bit tricky. You can burnish them with a bone folder if you have one. Set those there. And then we're just going to do that again 3 more times. So run some seal along the back. Flip it. Seal again. And I've seen the question too, how much seal am I supposed to use? I measure with my heart. So as much as you think you need to get it to stick and not pop up and not cause problems, I just do 3 lines. You can, some people go all the way around the edges, which I do that as well on certain cards, depending on like the type of paper I'm using. If it's heavier, if I'm using more layers, lots of layers, you want to have a decent amount of adhesive. I just say measure with your heart. And we have one more. Flip it over. And now that those are done, I'm going to bring the other 3 back in and grab my Stampin' Dimensionals, and we're going to put those on the back of these and then stick them to our card base. So I'm using 5 per piece here. You can use more, you can use less. Again, measure with your heart. Don't forget that your Stampin' Dimensionals, the outsides of them, you can cut and use those as well. This is a perfect project to use those on. So see, like I said, most of the polar bears and everything are getting covered up. I really wanted that star though. No, I don't want to flip it over. It confused me because the tree was on there. So do 5 or however many you're comfortable with. I feel like Stampin' Dimensionals are pretty affordable, so I don't feel bad about using 5 or more on a project. I'm going to cover up that star anyway that I wanted so badly. That's okay. That's how it goes sometimes. So now that we finished putting that layer on, we're not done yet because I want to add some bling. So I have some of the adhesive back glitter sequins that are a part of the Beary Christmas suite. You can use whatever you have. All three of these colors actually coordinate with the cards here. I'm going to use a mix of what three colors I think go best. I'm just going to kind of pop them around. So this one I'm going to use the white ones, I think, and then I think the next one I'll use the green. Oops. And you can give this away as like a card set, or you could use it for your own personal Christmas cards. If you need 4 cards quick, you realized, oops, I didn't make enough cards for everybody on my Christmas list, this is perfect for that. Again, though, like I said, you could definitely give these away as a gift. Throw some envelopes, wrap it with some ribbon, and you have a cute little handmade gift. So that is our 4 cards. We now actually have 5. This one's just got a little bit of a different background, but I hope you enjoyed this today. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this from me. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. You get your holiday cards done. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.